exceptional.
Here is Melinda Haring. Is that her name? Yeah, pop this up. She is a member of the Atlantic Council, and the Melinda Haring. And I can tell you that all of these think tanks, it is. I just remember going on, happening to be scheduled to be on Chris Hayes's program the night that Trump first struck Syria, and it was imminent. I just happened to be there. I don't know. I was going to go talk about, I don't know, Donald Trump's dog or whatever it was. and so I got to stay for the hour because I was the only person apparently in the building who would say this is a bad idea. They brought on, people from Brookings. It didn't matter who they brought on. In fact, I think I might have been the only person in prime time. They had 2 hours, 3 hours more of show after that. And no matter who they brought on, they would say stuff like, this is a good idea. And I'm like, how can you say that Donald Trump, well, the generals got this. And then what we need to do is come up with a plan on how we're going to, I'm like, wait, you're seriously saying bomb first, then come up with a plan? Like, this is insane. It was insane. And so they're so knee jerk. Melinda Haring, I'm not familiar with her work other than this tweet, these two tweets, to be honest with you, and that she's on the Atlantic Council. Putin has a big weekend plans in Ukraine, she wrote on February 11th. That would have been Friday. One, he's going to cut power and heat, knock out Ukrainian Navy and Air Force, kill general staff, and hit them with cyber attack. I just want to be clear here. This is a member, she is the deputy director of the Atlantic Council Eurasia. Deputy director. I mean, this is...
Yeah.
Someone who is writing this is a think tank. I mean, this is a supposed public intellectual on this.
This is someone legislators look to for expertise.
Right. This is not like, the Krasteen brothers or whatever it is. This is, not some like Twitter. This is somebody who's like literally probably sat down with every member of the foreign policy establishment in every administration. At least that position. Anyways, Putin has big weekend plans in Ukraine. He's going to cut power and heat, knock out Ukrainian Navy and Air Force, kill general staff, and hit them with cyber attack. And the thing is, too, is there's this sort of appeal to authority in that, like, she could just whip
knows
it off.
it. Oh, yeah.
Bing, bang, bang. Two, then install pro-Russian president. I mean, really, she should have, like...
These are big weekend plans. After that, he's going to a day party at a club with a pool in it.
Three is resort to full-scale military invasion if Ukraine doesn't give in. Wow. That is...
That's what happened, right?
It's dire.
That is big stuff. And here she is today, 7:40 a.m., we've been so focused on Russian troops and tanks that we've missed Moscow's strategy. Strangle Ukraine's economy and sap the resolve of its people. Seems like weekend plans changed.
Yeah. Well, when it's rainy, it's hard. It's hard, right?
And then
weather was bad.
And then she's written a piece. The West is falling for Putin's real play in Ukraine. Wonder why? Wonder how? I wonder who fell for that. And look,
there's more though.
I understand Twitter, you can't get nuance, but maybe if you're the deputy director of a think tank and we're on the precipice of war, maybe Twitter's not necessarily. Maybe you don't need to do like the three things that he's going to do this weekend. Maybe you can be a little more nuanced in it.
Okay, how about someone from NBC News, right? Like they're not invested in this narrative, because she's an expert on this. She wants to appeal to authority. They're just reporting the news. Do you have this, Bradley?
Put up the first Zelensky thing.
From Tom Winter of NBC. He said, New Ukrainian President Zelensky posts on Facebook, "We are told that February 16th will be the day of the attack. We will make it the day of unity. The relevant decree has already been signed." And then important update, Zelensky's spokesman says that when he was on Facebook and saying that, Zelensky was merely referring to media reports told by the media, not by US, Russia, NATO, etc. And if you could just go back to the quote tweet from a BuzzFeed reporter, because this is the context. The walk back is not from Kiev. It was misinterpreted by NBC, other outlets. Walkback should come from those inaccurately reporting what Zelensky said. If you know Zelensky, local languages, local context, you don't misinterpret this. Ukrainian media didn't get it wrong, only US. So basically, Zelensky was mocking the United States' breathless hyperbole about an imminent invasion into his country. He was being sarcastic, mocking it. I mean, maybe not the right time to do so, but regardless, if NBC and if these foreign correspondents had the requisite literacy in the countries that they are talking about are in such danger and that they're so afraid are going to get invaded, and if the media invested in international correspondents that were actually based in these countries, they would have known that he was being sarcastic. And yet they're like, February 16th, the leader of Ukraine is saying Russia's invading. It's unbelievable. And they tried to blame it on Kiev.
Yeah, well, yeah, go back. Yeah, go back to that, because put that back up. Because this, and to be clear here, what Miller from BuzzFeed News is saying is that there was no walk back from Kiev. There was no walk back because Kiev did not, meaning the capital, Ukraine, did not misstate anything to the extent that there was any sarcasm associated with this. Everyone who understood the context, in other words, people who had done the work, understood that this was not a literal statement, that it was in response to all of the claims that there was going to be an invasion on the 16th. And the NBC guy pretended like the walk back was from Kiev, as opposed
CYO CYA, cover your ass.
Exactly. Yeah. Or CYO, cover your orifice. And well, it's your Twitter orifice. And this is also the deflection of blame from the misreporting is also sort of a cherry on top.
Well, it's funny, like walk back from Kiev, like Kiev can mean a couple things. That could mean the government there, could mean your dumbass reporters who were misled.
Right. Yes, exactly.
They're walking it back from Kiev.
Yeah, our local stringer in Kiev said, guys, you got this wrong. Okay, you're walking it back. No.
Walk back.
You got it wrong. All right, I get it. You're just, backing up a little bit on it. No. We're not backing up. You got it wrong. All right, okay, don't get so huffy.
Will Menaker had a funny tweet. My emotions were running high this weekend when I tweeted that, quote, "The missiles are already in the air. Global nuclear annihilation is imminent. I still expect this to happen very soon, but lesson learned, I will be more judicious in the future."
I mean, to me, that is just so glaring. This is like, there is this really bizarre incentive, and it's just for all of these foreign correspondents and Pentagon reporters, for that matter, to get there first, and yet they don't have the on-the-ground reporting to justify that kind of push, and it creates errors and embarrassments like this.
I mean, that's what is really depressing when you think about, like, when World War II broke out, these papers actually had foreign correspondents and things like that. There's none of that anymore. Yeah.
And they want CNN wants the skeptical of it. They want, or the spectacle, I should say, of the missiles in the air and the imagery of it, without actually investing in the reporting that would back up that kind of visual.